Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie Miller with IOIBdesigns.com. Today I'm going to share with you how I'm going to decorate my tier tray that I made a few months ago for Valentine's Day. Now, if you missed that video, I will link it in the description box below, but I made my own tier tray using Dollar Tree products, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So it's now one of my favorite pieces in my home, and I have a perfect little spot for it, so I can change it out and add a few little decor items to it to have a designated place where I decorate for holidays. So this will be my first year going through all the months where I need something for my tier tray, and I thought it would be fun to share with you the process I go through every time I'm changing out my tier tray. So I realized I'm a little late to the game here for Valentine's Day because everything in the stores is already turning to Easter. So I'm scrambling a little bit to get this tier tray decorated for Valentine's Day, but I've come up with a couple things that I'm gonna share with you and a few things that I still found out in the stores. But since I was starting from scratch because I went to pull out Valentine's Day decor and I realized I literally had like 3 things that I usually stick on my mantle, nothing that would fit in the tier tray. So I'm starting from scratch, but I'm gonna share with you some of the quick and easy and inexpensive, my favorite, things to do, and I think you're gonna like how it's going to turn out. So the first thing that I do, and this is usually any project that I'm doing, I'm addicted to YouTube like my kids now since I have my own channel. So I go and I look for what other people have done and I get inspiration on YouTube, my favorite place to be. So I'm going to actually link in the description box below some of the favorite videos that I watched of other people and how they decorated their tier trays. So I use that as inspiration, then I headed out to the stores, and I'm gonna start off and show you the things that I found and bought, and then how I'm gonna use them and get them on the tier tray. Now, you may already have things around your home that you can use, so don't feel like you have to go out shopping. I just had nothing that would fit on my tier tray for Valentine's Day because I just don't usually do much for that holiday. So let's go ahead and get started. So first stop was Michael's, and I found these really cute felt hearts. They've got a little bit of stuffing to them, and they come in 2 different sizes, this bigger one and then these little ones. And 3 different colors. The small ones, there's red, pink, and white, and then there are some red and some white ones of these size. So I found a box of those. I got all of these, and it was $4.99, and everything was, I believe, 40% off. Then I found this container of, these are actually erasers, and they're supposed to be like little goodies, I guess, for the kids, little X's and O's, and they're erasers. Those were $2.99 and 40% off, so I thought that could be a good filler item. Then this was so cute, I thought. It's this little metal tin, and all these roses, they're like a felt rose. And it was making me think this could be a DIY too, if you know how to make rolled paper flowers. Maybe that'll be a video I do in the future, but you could probably do the same technique with the felt or even do this with paper. But I just thought it was so cute, I had to have that. This was probably the most expensive thing I got. It was $7.99 and 40% off of that, but still, it was really cheap. Then there were these little picks, and they kind of matched the other felt hearts. They're felt hearts too. I just haven't taken off the cellophane yet. But they're on little picks, and let's see, those were $1.99 and 40% off. And so I got those. And then I knew I wanted to have some sort of little sign that I wanted to make. So I found these for 99 cents. I say these because I got multiple ones because I know I'm going to want to make some for the other holidays. So 99 cents. I will probably most likely end up taking off this twine because I'm not going to need it. But I thought that that was super cute and just the right size, and I have an idea of a sign that I'm going to make with that. Next up was Target, and I remembered seeing in the Target dollar spot this really cute little mini, I guess it's like a cupcake stand, and I didn't get it because I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but then I had to go back and get it because I realized that would be perfect for anytime I need red on my tier tray, and I like to add different heights. So this was $3 at the Target dollar spot, and they also had little white ones too, but since my tray is white, I wanted to have more color to it. So I got that. And then look at this cute little mailbox. Now, I know they have these every year. I've seen them every year, and I just haven't grabbed one. This was only $1. So I thought that would be perfect. Then they had a little bit of greenery, and I got this here because it had some pinkish color flowers. They're looking kind of white right now in the camera, but they are actually pink. So I got those. And then these here are a set of cookie cutters that I found back by all of the Valentine's candy. And this whole set of 5 cookie cutters was $3. And I'm planning to use the LOVE as just letters on the tray. Then I was in TJMaxx for something totally different, but I happened to find this here on clearance. It was only $2. Now it's actually damaged, and I don't like what's on here. The corner is damaged and all that, but I really just wanted it for the heart, so it didn't matter. I'm going to cover it up, and I just couldn't pass it up for $2. All right, and now onto the Dollar Tree items that I'm going to need. Now, I already had these on hand. I have these little miniature wooden blocks that are in the crafters section at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be needing those. Then I'm also going to be needing this double-sided tape that I found at the Dollar Tree also, and it works really well. I picked up this set of 3 stems of roses because I thought they were really pretty. They look kind of real. So I'm not sure if I'm using those yet, but I went ahead and picked those up. And I picked up this small little mason jar. It's plastic. I didn't have in my stash of mason jars one small enough. So I'm thinking I may need this. Again, not positive if I'm using this, but I went ahead and grabbed one. I also pulled out this greenery that I had left over from Christmas. These are from Hobby Lobby, and they were with all the Christmas stuff, but I thought since they had the little white berries that I could use them year round and not just Christmas. I liked them. They have a little bit of sparkle to them. So I'm planning to use those because I'm finding I really do like to have some greenery on the tiered tray because it just fills in space, and I don't know, I just really like the look. So I'm going to start having a collection of greenery because that's not something that I in the past have really used. So if you already have a stash of greenery, just pull out what you have and use what you already have. So I want to use the LOVE cookie cutters as just letters to spell out love on the tray. But on their own, without any backing to it, they're not going to really show up. They're just going to sort of blend in, and I want them to stand out. So I'm going to take pink cardstock. You can use whatever color you want. I've debated between black and pink or white, but I think I'm going to go with the pink. So I'm just going to trace around each cookie cutter and then cut it out, and then I'll glue it on the cookie cutter, and that'll be a backing for it, and it should stand out better. So now I'm just going to cut each of them out. All right, now I'm going to experiment right along with you guys. So this is almost like a live version. I'm going to see if I can use this double-sided tape to stick the paper to the back of the cookie cutter. I told you this works really well. It's really sticky. So otherwise, we'll see if this works. If it doesn't, then I'll probably pull out my hot glue gun and hot glue it to the paper. But I'm feeling a little lazy today. I don't know, maybe lazy is not the right word. I'm just excited to get this all done and see the finished product. So let's see if this will work. If I just put it on a couple edges, because you're not going to see the back. So I don't really care if you can see the double-sided tape. So let's see. Oh, where did I put it? Okay, so I'm just doing it on the larger side, the longer sides. Yeah, so it's easier if you push it down around the edges before you pull off the backing. Hardest part is just getting the backing off. All right, let's see how that works. I probably should put one more piece there, but I'm going to see how this works to see if I need to break out the hot glue gun. And then I'm just going to line it up. Should probably flip it over. Yeah, let's flip it over and put it on from the back. That didn't work well. Oopsie. Okay, don't push too hard. There, you know what? That worked. I think I'm just gonna do that. So you can see the little bit of the tape there on the side, but I think it's fine. You're not gonna see it when it's on the tray. At least for now, that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna do that to all the rest of them. I'm just worried if I use hot glue that it's gonna seep up around the edges. So let me finish up these letters and then we'll get to the next one. So I have the backings on all of the cookie cutters and I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I think the double-sided sticky tape is going to work just fine. It does not appear to be going anywhere. It's not coming off. But like I said, if you're not liking the fact that the edges, you can see the tape a little bit, but you're not going to see it when it's with all the other stuff on the tiered tray. But if you're worried about that, go ahead and either hot glue it or Mod Podge, whatever other kind of adhesive that you would like to use, but I'm happy with the double-sided tape. Now they need to stand up like this, but obviously like the O, it does stand on its own, but just to secure it a little bit more, I'm going to use these little cubes from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to put 2 cubes together, and again I'm going to use the double-sided tape, and I'm just going to put the double-sided tape on the blocks, and then I'm going to stick it to the bottom of the cookie cutter, and that's just going to make it a little more stable so that it doesn't have a tendency to flop over. So I'll just stick that right onto the bottom, and it just gives it a sturdier base. And also, because I tested this out on the tray, I needed them to stand up a little more, so I needed a little more height. So now they're going to be really stable and they'll lift up a little bit more on the tray. Now I went ahead and I did put 2 on the V also, just because with just one it just wasn't sturdy enough. It was wanting to flop over. So again, just giving it a little bit sturdier base. Okay, so now I'm going to cover up the damaged part of this heart. And like I said, I didn't want, I just didn't like the decoration on here. I think I want to make it look kind of like a conversation heart. And so I'm just flipping it over and I'm going to trace the heart on black cardstock. And then I'm just going to cover the top of the heart in black cardstock. And I'm going to Mod Podge it on there. Now, if you wanted, you could paint it. But because there's the little damage spot right here on the corner, I would have to sand it all down. And again, I'm just feeling really lazy today. So I don't want to have to sand anything. So I'm just going to cut this cardstock and cover it in cardstock. And then I just have to decide, I want to put, like I said, I want it to look like a conversation heart. So I'm going to put some kind of wording on there, either Be Mine or maybe Hugs and Kisses or something like that, and make it look like a conversation heart. Actually, I think I might do that, Hugs and Kisses. So I'm just going to Mod Podge this on here, and I'm using a matte Mod Podge because I don't want it to be shiny. So I'm just going to Mod Podge right on the heart. And y'all, I'm going to sound like a total dork, but I was so excited when I went and grabbed this paintbrush because, you know, the last video I was organizing my office, and I just love the little bins that I have my paintbrushes in because it was so easy to grab a paintbrush. I didn't have to go digging through and take everything out of a bin just to get to the paintbrush I needed. So I'm so happy with my organized office. If you missed that video, I will link it in the description box below and you can see what I did. So once this dries on here, I will put a coat of Mod Podge on the top. So I just have to wait for this to dry. Okay, so I wanted to fill you in on a step that I did that I didn't film. Whenever I Mod Podged the black cardstock on here, there was a little bit of overhang. So I took a cutting mat and I flipped it over, and then I took an X-Acto knife and I just traced around the heart just like this. And that way it got all of the overhang off. And then this is a super fine grit. It's like 1500 grit sandpaper. So it's really fine and it's not taking off the, it's not like scratching up the cardstock, I should say. So I just went around the heart very carefully with the fine grit sandpaper, and that way it's all flush with the heart. Now if you wanted it to have a rustic look, which sometimes I do that, I use a coarser sandpaper and it will actually kind of rough up the edge of the cardstock. But if you use the super fine, all it does is make it flush with the edge. Now I'm ready to put the top coat of Mod Podge on. Now when I Mod Podge, I like to go in one direction first, and then I'll go back over when this dries a little bit, and I'll go back over in the opposite direction, and that way it gives it like a little cross-hatching look. And I can never seem to avoid stroke marks, so I feel like it looks purposeful if I go back in the opposite direction. So I've taped off my little sign ready for painting, but I want to give you an idea of what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to paint the inside black with my Waverly chalk paint in ink, and then I'm going to put these little felt hearts. I'm going to make it kind of like a little shadow box, and I'm going to put the Be Mine and then a white one, and I'll just glue those in there, something like that. And I think I might do like a red edge on here. But first I'm going to start by painting the inside black. Okay, so the chalk paint is dry. I've taken off the tape and now I'm going to paint the edge. I'm still deciding, so I'm kind of experimenting as we go. I'm debating if I just paint this top edge a color and then leave the natural on the side. So I'm going to do that first and see how I like it. And originally I was thinking I was going to paint it red, but I'm going to try the fuchsia color. So because I've got pink, red, and white in everything, so I'm going to see if this will tie everything together. So I'm just going to do this top edge first, see if I can, I'm probably going to end up having to paint the whole thing because I don't think I can just get it. I didn't do a good job of keeping it just on the top. I guess if I really wanted to just do this top part, I should have taped off the sides. Oh well, lesson learned.